What is going on, Red Zone Fiends? We are back at it again for Week 11 NFL bets. Let's go, let's go. I'm excited. We took a L. I took a L last time out. I know Mike hit that bet. Yeah, I got a good feeling about this week, man. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of upsets, but I can't wait to dig in it. But before we get into that, real quick, I just wanted to do a shout out to Made by Diana for hooking us up with our Red Zone Fiend gear. As you can see, Mike has his nice sweater going on. You know, look how clean that looks, right? Is that comfy, the sweater?
It's real comfy.
Keeping you warm? All right, there you go.
Touch it. Okay.
Also, also for our followers, and we appreciate you guys from TikTok, subscribing through YouTube. We appreciate it, and we are going to do our raffle now. So without further ado, Frank, go ahead and get that. Let's get that winner out.
All right.
Here we go.
This one, the winner is going to get a free Red Zone Fiends shirt from Made by Diana. So we'll go ahead and get your shirt size and everything.
I'm hoping everybody wins, but let's see who we got today.
Hopefully it's I'm really for all you A1ers from day ones.
Who do we got, Frank? All right, let's see.
Who we got?
We have Guerrero Ferreira. Guerrero Ferreira, you are the winner, man. We appreciate you for that subscription, man, and thank you for following us in and out and running it back with us every week on our channel. We're gonna hook you up. We're going to get a hold of you, and we're going to hook you up with a Red Zone Fiend shirt. And you know what? It's starting to get cold. We're probably just going to throw in that Red Zone Fiend sweater. So congratulations, man, and we'll get a hold of you soon. And for all you followers that didn't win today, don't worry. We're going to have more raffles coming out. Just keep tuning in. All right, so let's move on to our Week 1 bets, okay? Yes, sir. Let's start off with our winner. The winner from last week. He hit pretty good. What do you got for us, Mike?
Last week, I missed the college bet, the parlay by one team.
One team. How many legs was
teaser, it? It was a three team.
Okay.
So, but for this week, we're gonna go with the ranked teams. I got Georgia, number 1 Georgia versus number 18 Tennessee. I'm taking them as part of a 3-team parlay with Georgia at -10. And then Illinois versus number 16 Iowa. I'm taking Iowa at -3. And then number 5 Washington versus number 11 Oregon State. I feel like you gotta take Washington at +1. You know, $50 turns to $300.
Hell yeah!
And you can even tease that for some insurance. You know, it didn't work out last week, but
we love those teasers, man.
But those teasers are a little insurance just to get your money back or break even.
Absolutely.
So if you're doing the teaser on that, I would do a 3-team 10-point teaser. I'd take Georgia at basically a pick'em plus half a point.
Yeah.
I would take Iowa at +7. I don't number 16 team in the nation. I don't see them losing that game. Period. And then Washington at +11. So
yeah,
we're gonna leave the over unders alone with that one. But I would take Washington at +11 on that 3-team 10-point teaser just for insurance. And hey, I don't see how you can go wrong.
Right. Pretty damn solid, man. So if you keep it straight up, you are risking a little bit more, but you're going to win that bigger money. But the teaser, like you said, is insurance. We all mess with the teasers. Yeah, so if you can tease it, if you have an app to tease it, definitely tease that if you want to keep it a little more safer than normal. Frank, I know you have a college bet going on as well. What do you got, man?
All right, we're gonna go back to Michigan. I liked them last week. I actually texted Josh to get him in for me to cover. They covered, so that was good. I dropped the ball on Sunday. So we're going to go back at it for Michigan, -18.5 against Maryland. And take that straight up. I don't see Maryland scoring no more than 16 points. Michigan's defense looked elite, even though it was Penn State's offense isn't very good. But make no mistake, they're doing what they had to do. They had to shut out Penn State's deep offense, and they pretty much did. So take them minus 18.5. That's my college pick.
There it is. There it is. Okay, we're gonna switch to NFL real quick. I'll go ahead and start it off right now. So NFL this week, I'm not gonna go with teasers actually. I feel like it's not gonna be an upset type of week. We've had so many upsets this week, this year. You gotta love football, but at the same time, those upsets happen. Betting kind of goes down south. So I'm gonna go straight up Cowboys versus Panthers. I'm gonna take the Cowboys money line. Bears versus Lions. I'm gonna take the Lions money line. Chargers versus Packers. I'm gonna take Chargers money line, and Bills versus Jets. I'm taking the Bills money line. I feel like the only one that might be risky would be the Chargers and Packers. But they are in a must-win mode. They cannot lose anymore, and Packers don't look like a solid team. You know, in and out. The consistency of them being a good team is not working out for me. And Chargers, they've been keeping every single game they played close. So I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win by at least 7 points. But I'm going to take the money line on that. So if you do that 4-leg parlay, you're going to get plus 211. So I'll probably throw 100 on it, win about $200 or so. Take or leave it. Yeah, those are my bets. Hopefully we, get back on that winning track. What do you got for us, Mike?
If you followed my bets last week, you probably had a good day. You know, that 50 turned to 300.
Yeah.
And that tease those same teams, 65 for 50. So, just with that, you definitely should have been on the come up. So, and I feel another good one coming this weekend.
Yeah, you're on fire, man. You've been on fire lately. What do you got?
But let's go with we're going with the 3-teamer again. 3-team parlay, 50 for 300. Let's go with the LA Chargers -3 bounce back game. Like Josh said, must win. I just don't see them losing that game, and 3 is pretty generous, so I would take them. Next game would be the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking Pittsburgh +1.5. I know they're in Cleveland, and Cleveland has a top 3, if not one of the best defenses in the league. But you just lost Deshaun Watson, and I'm not a big fan of it. Going with the rookie when you had P.J. Walker was pretty good at managing the game and, keeping a minute.
Yeah.
So that's a real wild card there for me. And at 1.5, it's basically a pick 'em. So I'm going with the Steelers. Seattle Seahawks versus Rams as my next game. I'm going with Seattle. Stafford's barely coming back. That thumb, that finger injury is not the same. Kyron Williams is still out, and guys have been struggling. You'd think they'd be on the way up, but Seattle's on a roll.
Yeah.
I mean, look out for them as far as that one team that can, who knows, even take that division from the Niners. So I would take Seattle at +1, and if you tease that now if you're gonna do a 3-team 10-point teaser like I would double dip on that Steelers and Browns game. I would take the Steelers at +11, and the over on that would be 23. So,
nice. Yeah.
I mean, if that's one game that you're double dipping in, and you're probably gonna get it, it's that. And I would take the Chargers at +7. Even if the Chargers get upset, I don't see them losing by no more than a field goal.
Absolutely, man.
Definitely under a touchdown. So I mean, hey man. We hit last week. Let's hit it again this weekend.
Keep it going, man. All right, Frank, what do you have for us?
All right. So this week I'm going to ride with the 6-point teaser. 3 teams. I'm going to do Dallas was -10.5. They're going to go and move to 4.5 versus Carolina Panthers. Dolphins and Raiders, I'm going over the 39.5. It was 45.5 to start off with. Then I'm playing the Chargers versus Green Bay. Was 3.5, and I'm getting 3 for the Chargers. I don't see any upset. This one's going to be a +150, so we're going to lay 50 to win 75. So with my account, I actually cashed out not too long ago. I turned 15 to 300, had a good couple bets riding. So now I'm gonna try and keep track of the bets from here on out, and then in 3 weeks' time, we'll see what's in the account, and then whether we're positive or negative. Hopefully not negative. Hopefully we're positive. So we're gonna start off with 50 in the account. We'll go ahead and lay the 50 on this teaser to win the 75.
Yeah, and absolutely. And one thing I want to get talk about too is that me and Frank did come up with a loss with the Sunday bet, our YouTube bet. Yeah. Mike did hit. But if you guys do have any more questions about or want any advice about the later on games, try to message us, comment us, because me and Frank actually hit on the Charger and Lions game, and we hit on the Jets and Raiders game. So we're continuously betting all day. So if you guys
did hit on the UFC. I did hit on that UFC fight. I took Alex Pereira in that fight too.
We're doing it all.
I went the other way with it. So unfortunately,
I actually went on the over on the 10.5 rounds for Shakur Stevenson and the Dos Santos fight too. So I actually did get a little piece of that. So just message us if you have any basketball, football, boxing, UFC. We do that all day, every day.
Yeah, Josh actually caught fire. I remember I was texting Josh on that Sunday before the Raider game.
Yeah.
And we talked him into we cooked up a little teaser.
Yeah, absolutely. And while you were texting me, the Chargers and Lions were playing, and at one point it was the over 50.5. I put 150 down on that for plus 100. Bam, easy money right then and there. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to see how that game's going. You place your bet mid-game. So,
you know what?
Live bet it.
That's what happened. So not only the one we hit too. I was able to hit 150 on the live.
That wasn't even the teaser. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was the Raiders money line, and that was the over.
It wasn't even a teaser. So
yeah, it wasn't a teaser.
So sometimes
and I told you about that Arizona game.
Yeah,
Arizona and Atlanta.
Mike, I'll tell you right now, Mike is on fire, bro.
I didn't hit on the Niners one, but as a Raider fan, you could tell that that was more with my heart than my mind. But
I'm gonna remind you guys, if you guys can hit 60% of your bets, that's profitable. If you're betting, professional gamblers hit from anywhere from 60 to 65 plus to make a profit when you're gambling. So don't expect to get rich overnight. You're gonna have wins, you're gonna have losses. Honestly, if you're up by the end of the year, even if you're at even money by the end of the year, I think you've won because
you live to fight another day.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
If you're pulling even, so don't get discouraged or don't double down or nothing.
And we're always here for that advice if you guys need it.
So, sure.
Now let's get moving on to our fantasy. Let's go to fantasy. Okay, so it's kind of a crazy week already with the Bengals, Joe Burrow going out.
Dunsky, the team's done.
Yeah, crazy. And
that opens a wild card spot.
Trade Jamar if you can. I know I'm about to.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's figure out who do you guys think is going to be a boom or bust. We're going to start off with Frank. Who do you got booming this week?
Booming. I got Tyreek Hill against. He's going against the Raiders team. Always found success against him. Burns him pretty good. I'm predicting 150 yards and a touchdown. Nothing more to say. The Raiders defense is stepping up though big time under new head coach Antonio Pierce. So it will be interesting to see. But
it's the real test right here.
Yeah, but Miami hasn't proven to be an elite team. They're the best of the average teams to me. They're the best of everybody else.
They're on that elite
team. They haven't beat a team with a winning record.
Exactly.
There's a reason for that.
There's no. So So I believe if the Raiders can control the clock, kill some time, whatever, get Josh Jacobs going, they might actually have a chance. I was thinking about taking the 13.5, taking the points on that. Even the money line looks good at 550. I mean, in a perfect world, on paper, it just doesn't look like a good matchup for Vegas.
Definitely risky.
But it's plus for you late. I mean, even if you got $20 to win 100.
Yeah.
Tell me, and I like that Raiders, not just 500, 550. So I like that. I would rather put my $20 towards the Raiders to win versus going to buy a $20 scratch at the liquor store. Just saying.
And everybody want to say that Raider and Jets game was a boring game, which it was. But I'm gonna say a stat that's pretty crazy to hear. The Jets have played against Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts,
boring,
Herbert,
boring,
and from the Chargers,
Josh Allen,
also boring. So
and now Aiden O'Connell. And guess who has the highest quarterback rating out of all those teams? AOC. So I'm it's a little disrespectful with the 13.5. So I get what you're saying when
if you think about it. And what has Miami's defense proven? Their reliability. That's why they're losing, because they can't stop those teams. I can definitely
see why.
But they are in Miami.
The over, right?
They are in Miami.
Vegas, it doesn't matter.
I hope you're right. I do.
I'm just saying, if you guys got an extra $20 lying around that you can find in the couch pillows.
Yeah, if there's the one game that you
why
want
not?
If you got that time to recycle some cans, man, and go put it on the Raiders.
Why not?
That's what Frank the Tank is saying. Okay, we'll move on. I will, with my boom for this week, I think it's going to be an awesome game. I'm going to go with Travis Kelce. And, we're saying these big names, but at the same time, Travis Kelce has not done anything for 3 weeks. He hasn't done anything, for 3 weeks. I actually traded for Travis Kelce, giving up Ferguson and another player, and Ferguson has been outplaying Kelce. But this is the week that Kelce's going to go off. That's who I have for my boom. Who do you have, Mike?
For my boom, I'm going to go with CD Lamb.
CD Lamb.
The man has been booming since week 6. We're at week 11. And they're playing a 1-win Carolina team. And I just don't see him slowing down. And
Is he still on pace for that 10 catch, 150 yard?
Yeah, he's
actually. He's still doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that still going, that streak?
Mm-hmm. The man's on
It's
fire.
going to continue then.
The man's on fire, and he's making Dak look good again. So, I told Josh last week, I don't know how a guy can keep booming, and he just keeps booming. So I'm gonna stick with the hot hands, literally, and that's what it is, man. CD Lamb.
I'm with it on that one. Who do you have for your bust this week, Mike?
For my bust, I have Stephon Diggs, wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. I just feel like, they're going through a lot. New coordinator. There's a little turmoil within the locker room with, how with him as far as not getting the ball. Yeah. And I honestly think they're going to key in and try to force feed him. And
what that looks like.
And against an elite defense like the Jets, they'll just sniff it out, shut it down.
Absolutely.
And they're going to have to go away from him. And, I actually think Buffalo's going to win this game. And they're going to have to go to somebody like a Gabe Davis or the tight end Kincaid, or they're gonna have to get the running game going, to even
stout defense,
to even cover the -7. So I just think they're gonna Buffalo's gonna key in on trying to feed Diggs, and the Jets are just gonna shut it down.
There you go.
I don't see him having that great of a day.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, man. I do think he's gonna get that volume, but like you said, they're gonna key on it. I think he'll be okay on PPR, but standard, I think it's gonna be a bust as well. Now for my bust, I'm gonna go with Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford has been doing actually not too bad lately. He hasn't been getting the red zone. Kareem Hunt's been in there sniffing it out, basically
5
scoring.
games in a row.
So he's going to play
at least with a touchdown.
He's going to play a stiff Steelers defense. Just kind of like how Mike said about Jets sniffing it out. The Browns are going to have to run. They don't have their quarterback Watson now. They're going to go with somebody else. We all thought it was going to be
rookie.
PJ. Yeah, the rookie. We all thought it was going to be PJ Walker stepping up. He can actually play decent. So they're going to stop that run. Jerome Ford's not going to get. He's not going to do as good as he normally does. And if he gets in the red zone, we all know Kareem Hunt's going to be there. So that is going to be my bust. Frank, who you got for the bust of the week?
I have 2 different kinds of busts. The one I want to go with, it's not really. He's not. I think he's only owned in like 60% of the fantasy league, so I got actually 2. So my first one's going to be Derrick Henry. He's playing against the Jags defense. They're usually pretty good against the run. For some reason, I just feel like Jags got embarrassed last week. So they're going to be come back pissed off. And
Pretenders.
Derrick Henry had a very bad week last week. Maybe a blueprint copycat league. You know how it goes. So I'm going with Henry. I'm giving him maybe 7 yards and maybe 10 receiving yards tops. Then my second one, I want to go with Baker Mayfield. He's playing against that Niners defense. And the reason I don't really want to say him completely because he's not like a starter in every fantasy league. He's a plug and play definitely, but for the most part, just because his only real weapon is Mike Evans. That the offensive line isn't very good, depending against the Niners defense that just got freaking hit the lottery for free basically with Chase Young.
Yeah, and they're on the road.
And that's ridiculous.
Yeah, on the road.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm looking on paper, everywhere I'm looking at, where I'm trying to find where
the Niners are healthy.
Yeah,
they're healthy.
I can't even say it because I don't even know where the Buccaneers are going to try and go. They can't run. So, I mean, I expect to see a lot of 38s, 37s, a lot of third down.
Yeah, third and longs basically going on.
So, Baker Mayfield, and maybe even that whole Bucs offense. I have Evans in a couple of leagues, but I did consider dropping him, or not dropping him, but benching him. But you know what? You just can't.
Yeah,
but I don't expect no more than 50 or 60 yards this week. So I want to go with those 2.
Absolutely, and I can absolutely see that, man. The Niners are healthy, like you guys said. I don't know, man.
They embarrassed that Jags team, and that Jags team is pretty good. They're a decent team.
He's been playing his heart out, man. But I just think this is the week that he's gonna get completely shut down.
All that told me was the Jags are pretenders. Like I didn't think. I mean, them losing the game was likely. But to get blown out the way they did and in that fashion at home, coming off a bye, like, there's no excuse for that. Like, to me, you're a pretender. You're not a contender.
Absolutely. So, since we are on the real quick, before we transition to the next topic, anybody out there with fantasy news, let us know about your trades. Let us know how you guys are doing in your league. I know I'm 4-6. I'm in emergency mode. My man Mike is sitting high right now, about to take that number 1 spot.
8-2.
He's on fire. So let us know with the comments.
6-4.
How's your guys' league going? 10-man league, 12-man league. I mean, let's get that fantasy talk going up. Okay. So,
you know what? Let me cut in real quick. So before we move on, one quick. If some people like to bet on player props, so my question to you guys, and I'll answer as well. I'll give you my guys' pick. Now I'll give you guys a couple minutes to think about it. But to you guys, if on those player props app, there's an anytime touchdown for those players. So McCaffrey was scoring, I think he had like a record 17 touchdowns in a row. So it was like minus 110 for anytime touchdown. Minus 110. So this week, if you had to put money down, $50 on an anytime touchdown, in which
McCaffrey.
In which game would you go with? CMC's one.
I'd go with McCaffrey.
Anytime touchdown.
Kareem Hunt has been, 5 games in a row.
For this week, right?
For this week coming up.
If I had to go with any, and if it's any player, any position, I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill for this week. I think Tyreek Hill is going to get in that end zone.
Now, how would you count that for a quarterback?
I think quarterback is probably passing. I think they would have a passing touchdown.
Yeah, because I just heard you say any position. Yeah. So quarterback.
If not, the odds are going to be insane.
Sure.
But I'm sure they're not going to allow that.
Yeah.
So I would say Tyreek Hill. Mike would say McCaffrey. That's actually pretty good.
I wonder what the odds are for any of those. So if any of you guys like doing the
I actually did one
Raheem Mostert from the Miami Dolphins. I also like his odds because I feel like when they get in the red zone, we might just have to lock in on Tyreek to where that offense, that Miami offense is scary.
There's no word on A-Chain yet. I know he's still limited. They said he's
going to be on a snap count on his first game back regardless.
Yeah, so and I know the coach has been saying that
don't trust these coaches on what they say. it's usually the opposite, especially with a player coming off an injury. So, I mean, I know a lot of guys are high on HN, and rightfully so, but first game back,
he's on the snap. Sure. He's going to be on the count here,
yeah, sure. Those player props are actually pretty good, and the odds are actually pretty awesome. So
unless you had it on Joe Burrow and Mark Andrews, which well, you know that's always the risk too with these player props. You know,
absolutely, yeah, for
guys
sure.
get hurt, and
for sure.
There it goes. So
I had a Cook from the Bills this last game. I had him over. I had him over 58. His last game that he played, and he fumbled the ball, got benched for the first half, and I thought it was done. I thought so. It's something like that. Eventually, he actually got over 100 yards, around 100 yards. But eventually, you know, something like that just changes the whole thing a bit. So those player props are extremely risky. So if I were you guys,
and if not player props, team props. You know, a team prop that I like that I look at a lot is the team sacks, the most sacks in the game for both teams. And usually that hovers around 4.5 to 5 on the over-under. So, you know, you see on some of these games, you see some guys getting sacked 4 times in one drive. So,
and you know, you're playing against a rookie as well.
Sure.
You see a rookie playing like the Cleveland Browns.
That's also a prop bet to look at, the most sacks in the game. I've hit a few on those, and so you just got, you know, that's one I like to look at, and, you know, you don't have to worry about injury as far as, you know, a certain individual.
So which one would you guys like better? Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown or a Baker Mayfield interception thrown?
I would go with Baker Mayfield interception thrown.
Yeah, I'd probably go with
He's
Baker.
going to have to try to air it out. They're going to get behind.
Those are a couple plays you guys can look into, because I even like the Josh Jacobs, because, you know, the Raiders are going to be running the ball. That's their new identity.
The only risky thing with Josh Jacobs and the Dolphins game is if they do get behind and very high risk of that.
I mean, every time you're under the 5-yard line, they're going to feed him the ball.
Yeah, which is
so I think they can just get to the 5 even if they are playing.
So if there's goal line work for Josh Jacobs, then that's definitely a go. So yeah, I think those player props are pretty good. Those game props.
Just something to start looking into.
Absolutely, man. And I've been digging into those lately. They're actually pretty fun, you know. If you don't like a game specifically, go to those props. So, all right, we'll get to our last segment real quick before we let you guys head out. And it is going to be the Eagles versus the Chiefs. Who do you guys have for this week? Let's start off with Mike.
Outright, just winning the game.
Just winning the game.
I'm going to go with, is this in Philadelphia?
Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not actually sure. Let me really quick check where it's in.
I'm pretty sure it's...
I want to say it's in Arrowhead, but... Yes, it's in Arrowhead.
Oh, it's in Arrowhead. Okay, that changes it for me. I was leaning into Philadelphia at home, but since it's in Arrowhead, I'm reluctant to say I would take the Kansas City Chiefs. Just the home team, and you know Kelsey's due for a bounce back game. Jalen Hurts isn't 100%, even though he's not on the injury list, but he's definitely not 100%. And you know, but I'll tell you one thing: I'll be rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles, most definitely. But if I had to put money on it, I would go with the smart money, which I would say is the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, who do you got, Frank?
I'm actually head the other way. I'm gonna take my butt to Philadelphia. I understand Jalen Hurts not 100%. Just think Philadelphia is a better team. I think Kansas City's just been playing down to other teams' level and just doing enough just to get by. They haven't really been tested, you know. So their last loss was to the Denver Broncos. So kind of don't really know which way they're heading towards. But Kelsey's having some downtime, some down games, so that might be a trend. Keep going. Can't go against the trend right now. So if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So.
but to be fair on that point, Kansas City, that's kind of been their identity since Tyreek left. No, they've always just done enough to get to get by.
I feel like in some years they look more dominant. I do
sure.
There's
no more. They're not
as
explosive as they used to
They're
be.
definitely not. But I mean, we're talking about a team that just won the Super Bowl last year, right?
Yeah.
So
Travis
I feel
Kelce's
like
lost a step. I see him losing half a step, to tell you the truth. I don't think he's been producing this year like he should be. It was, let's be honest, he wasn't worth that top 5 pick. Anybody that says, "Oh, I drafted him top 5," say, "Oh yeah, he was worth it."
No, if there's a redraft,
look at me dead in the eye and say it was worth it.
For sure.
It wasn't worth it.
Now we'll head to me real quick.
Take your glasses off for the look at your eyes.
It was
I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I think it's going to be nice and close, but at the same time, I want to say the Chiefs are going to win, but I'm not going to. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to take it. I think Jalen Hurts is, I think he's kind of been having issues, being injured, but I mean, the man's been pretty damn dominant all year.
He's been good.
I think the Eagles are an overall better team, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think they can control the ball better. They're going to key in on Kelsey, and I think that's why the Chiefs are having a tough time this year, because teams have been shutting Kelsey out, and now they're going to go against a top offense in the NFL. I think the Eagles are going to take it on a very close
But
game.
are they not 8-2?
The Chiefs?
Yes.
No, I'm not saying, they're a bad team or anything. I think these are the best 2 out of 3 teams playing this year. Maybe 2 out of 4. I would say 2 out of 4, because I think the Ravens are actually above the Chiefs.
Ravens are actually on a roll right now. I actually think they should be a top 2 team.
Yeah,
in the NFL or in the AFC?
In the NFL, the way they're playing.
I think the Ravens are a
I've been
team.
the biggest Raven Lamar Jackson hater.
The same Ravens that lost a game in the fourth quarter to a one-armed Deshaun Watson.
Now, if you look at that game, I do want to go on that real quick. Now, if you look at that game, the Ravens are dominant. They're explosive, but the problem with the Ravens has the losses. It's because of blown leads. I feel once they for sure get all 4 quarters, I mean, you can't deny they are ridiculously good. I think they can shut down the Chiefs, and they can keep up with their firepower. I'm going to rank them as the number 3 team in the NFL behind the 49ers and the Eagles.
I like them in there too. But I've been the biggest Lamar I've never believed in Lamar Jackson, but this season he's been proving a freaking point. Guy's on fire the last couple of weeks. Yeah. You can't deny his play. If he's not MVP worthy, then I don't know what else is worthy.
But as a fantasy football player, you love and hate him.
As an owner, for sure.
It's a damn roller coaster ride, because every game that he's met his projection, I've won, which has been 5 games. And every games he's not met his projection, I've lost, which is the reason why in that league I'm 5-5. So I get it. I get the hype. The team is doing well. The run game's on point. The defense is on point. They get out to these leads, and they usually stay there. So and the games they've lost, it's literally been in the fourth quarter. The last couple minutes. Who was it? It within the Colts, the Steelers, and then the Browns. So, but I would probably put him top 5. Top 2 or 3. I think is a little steep. Just my opinion.
I think they're third. I would say they're third.
Yeah.
Just by the way, Lamar's playing with a different kind of style though.
Behind, so who's top 2 for you then? If they're third,
I still got Niners number 1 and Philly number 2.
Oh, okay.
See, I had it close with that, but I'm going to flip that. But,
I like Niners.
Who do you got?
A healthy 49ers team, I think is Super Bowl. I'm still taking
my top team in the NFL?
Top 3.
Top 3.
Or top teams above the Ravens, actually. So put them in order, but stop at the Ravens.
Man, I'd go I say KC's still the best team.
Wow.
I say KC because they find ways. Yeah, I mean they're not blowing out teams. It's not that sexy, but they're finding ways to win. They did it all year last year. Yeah. They're doing it again this year. I just don't see how you undermine a champion. They're the defending champs for a reason. Mahomes got 2 or 3, however many it is, in his young career. So I got them at number 1 until somebody just knocks them off.
I don't know, man. Denver knocked them off too.
Yeah, I mean, we can't
They're-
go off
but-
of one.
But they're not going to
game,
win every
you know?
game. You
That's
know
like
what I
saying
mean?
the Eagles lost the game too. That we're not going to knock them. Because they
Yeah,
had one loss
but
as well.
I mean, if you
I feel like this is the same story as last year with how everybody's talking about KC. They're not as explosive. They're not this and that. But at the end of the day, the team finds ways to win, and defending champs. I'm not putting nobody above them right now. Number 2, I got the Philadelphia Eagles at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like they haven't been their best all year neither, but yet they're still at 8-1.
Yeah.
You know, Hurts, he's been battling through some stuff all year, but the team finds a way to win, And I think they're even a more talented team than the Kansas City Chiefs. But,
on paper they are.
Oh, for sure.
On paper, yeah.
So I do think if they meet in the Super Bowl this year, which is possible, I do think they can knock them off. And then, right after the Philadelphia Eagles, I have the San Francisco Niners. They're a top 3 team. That defense is nasty. Their run game is, and the play calling is top, is one of the top, play calling teams in the league with Purdy. That I'm not, everybody says Purdy this, Purdy that, but Purdy is more than good enough to run that offense and get the job done. And that's all the Niners need.
Every year I got to tell a Niner fan, relax.
Yeah.
Relax. He's still learning. He's got control,
People assume just because he came in and tore it up his first couple of games. You got to remember, he's still only, this is his first full year? He was a rookie last year.
And this is coming from Raider fans. So Niner fans, relax. I don't think he should get the hate after a couple losses. You live and you learn, boys.
And they weren't healthy in that team either. Their team was not far from it. You're missing Trent Williams, best tackle in the league.
Yeah.
You're missing Debo, your Swiss Army knife. So you're at a disadvantage.
And I know a lot of Niner fans are like, oh, we were down to our third-string quarterback last year. That should have been us in the Super Bowl. But, at the end of the day, I feel like, Philadelphia is no joke, man. Jalen Hurts, he's made that stride year after year. He's
elite as it comes, man.
Elite quarterback, top 3 to 5. You can't say no worse than that.
From 2 to 3, honestly.
There you go. And I'm just being generous.
He's someone you're gonna want. If you're building a team, if Patty Mahomes is not there, you're gonna get Jalen Hurts. Honestly, if you're building a team, Patrick Mahomes is not there, you got to get Jalen Hurts.
That quarterback position, you got to.
Absolutely, those are the top 2 guys in my eyes. So
that's my top 3, and then maybe I throw Baltimore in there, but. I don't see anybody pass. I don't like those last minute. I don't like those.
Baltimore is looking freaking.
You can't put any team. Maybe the Cowboys if Dak is on fire, but other than that, you can't put another team above Baltimore. Now that Joe Burrow's out and we thought the Bengals were hitting their stride,
you cannot put Dallas up there at all right now.
Way too inconsistent. I would put Dallas at a top 6 team.
They're at the elite average team I was talking about earlier. They'll lose to the top ranked teams, but they'll beat the crap out of other teams.
They're like the NFC Dolphins, just not explosive.
Exactly.
But I will say if they play Philadelphia at home later this year and they win that game. And judge it and based on how they played them in Philadelphia, they should have won that game in Philadelphia.
They were right there.
They should have won that game in Philadelphia. They really should have. So I will say, if they handle business at home against Philadelphia, they could be a team to look out for.
Sure.
Be a true wild card team.
Their upside can be just almost as high as anybody.
But their kryptonite is the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, yeah. I don't see them beating them in whether it's at home, away. I don't know what it is. Every time they match up, it's just a bad matchup for them.
For sure.
But what they showed against Philly in that game a couple weeks ago, they shown that they've made strides and that they can be right there. And if they can beat Philly and show that they can beat Philly, then hey, maybe Philly beats the Niners in the divisional round, and they happen to meet up in the championship game, NFC Championship. So. And then anything goes from there. So
absolutely, it's just exciting to see, man.
Yeah.
So I just want to shout out and I appreciate everybody following us all the way through the videos. Thank you for the likes. Let your buddies know we got the bets, we got that fire for you guys.
Also, to the winner, if go ahead and comment below, let us know that you've seen this video and that you know you've won. That way we can go ahead and get in contact with you. We're going
Absolutely, man. Thank you once again, Mike, for coming in through, hooking us up with those bets, man. You are on a roll, dude.
I gotcha, man. Let's make some money
good
together,
luck, boys.
man.
Good luck to everybody with their fantasy teams and their bets, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. TikTok, Red Zone Fiends.
Out.
Yeah.